Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive on gratitude. I feel like it's everywhere we look these days, gratitude journals, gratitude apps, even gratitude hashtags. But is it like actually more than just a trend? We've got some super interesting stuff to unpack today, from some pretty hardcore scientific studies to personal stories of transformation. We even have some ancient wisdom sprinkled in there too.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how much we're learning about the science behind gratitude. It's not just about, counting your blessings. There are actually measurable effects on our brains and our bodies, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so let's dive right into the deep end then.
Yeah,
I'm always down for a good brain teaser, and it turns out gratitude is like a workout for your gray matter.
it really is. So studies that looked at brain activity using fMRI technology, it's really cool. They can actually see your brain in action, and they show that when people actively practice gratitude, specific areas of the brain, especially the ones associated with reward and pleasure, they actually light up. We're talking about a real dopamine and serotonin boost.
Wait, so you're saying that gratitude is literally like hitting the gym for your brain? It makes those happy pathways stronger over time.
No.
Where do I sign up for that class?
Yeah, and it's not just about those immediate feel-good chemicals. There's some evidence that suggests that over time, gratitude can actually change the physical structure of the brain itself.
Hold on, hold on. Are you saying it can actually rewire those viral pathways? How does that even work?
Okay, so there's this one study, and they found that after just a few weeks of practicing gratitude, the participants actually showed increased gray matter density in the medial prefrontal cortex. That's a part of the brain that plays a really important role in, things like learning and decision making.
So it's like gratitude is upgrading our brain software. It makes it sharper, more adaptable. That's incredible.
And it goes even deeper than that. There's a fascinating connection between gratitude and how our brain processes emotions. When we experience something positive, those good feelings, they tend to fade really quickly, right?
Ugh, tell me about it. That feeling you get after a big win or accomplishment, it never seems to last as long as we want it to.
Exactly. And that's where gratitude comes in. When we consciously focus on those positive experiences and really savor them, maybe by writing about them or telling someone how much we appreciate them, it's like we're hitting the save button on those good feelings.
So instead of those happy vibes fading away, gratitude is helping us hold on to them for longer. That's amazing. But how does that actually work on a brain level?
Well, research suggests that gratitude can actually strengthen specific neural connections, the ones that are in charge of processing positive emotions.
So gratitude is like rewiring our brains to hold on to those good vibes longer.
Mhm.
But let's get out of our heads for a minute. How does all this brain rewiring actually show up in our everyday lives?
That's what's so exciting. It's not just theoretical. Studies are showing a really strong connection between, practicing gratitude and experiencing all kinds of benefits in our relationships, at work, even for our physical health.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Give me those real-world benefits.
All right, well, let's start with relationships. There's some really compelling research showing that couples who regularly express gratitude for each other, they say that they're more satisfied in their relationships, and they're actually more likely to stay together longer too, which is pretty cool.
So you're telling me gratitude is the secret sauce for a long and happy love life. I knew there was a reason I love sending thank you notes, but it's not just romantic relationships, right?
No, not at all. Gratitude is like a relationship booster across the board. It strengthens our bonds with our friends, our family members, our colleagues, everybody. And it makes sense if you think about it when someone expresses gratitude to us. It makes us feel appreciated, valued, and that just naturally strengthens the connection.
It's like that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when someone gives you a genuine thank you, bud, multiplied across all your relationships. That's awesome.
Exactly. And the ripple effects don't even stop there. Studies have also shown that when we're feeling grateful, we're actually more likely to go out of our way to be helpful and kind to other people. So it creates this beautiful cycle of positivity.
Wow, so gratitude is not just good for us, it inspires us to spread that goodness around too. I love that.
Yeah.
But what about when life throws us a curveball? You know, can gratitude really help us deal with things like stress, anxiety, or even more serious stuff like depression?
That's where the research gets super fascinating. Now, it's important to remember that gratitude isn't some kind of magic cure-all, and it's always important to seek professional help if you're really struggling. But studies are consistently showing that gratitude can be a really powerful tool in managing stress, anxiety, and yeah, even helping people navigate depression.
Seriously. So it's not just about feeling good in the moment. It
Mm.
can actually make a real difference in how we deal with tough emotions.
Exactly. And it's not about pretending like everything's perfect or trying to ignore the negative stuff either. It's more about like shifting our perspective when we focus on what we're grateful for. And that can even be small things. It's like we're training our brains to look for those glimmers of light, even when things are tough.
So it's not about like toxic positivity or anything. It's about finding those genuine moments of appreciation no matter what's going on around you. Okay, I like that a lot.
And that shift in perspective, it can have a huge impact on our resilience too. People who regularly practice gratitude, they tend to bounce back from setbacks more quickly. Instead of letting those negative emotions drag them down, they're able to see challenges as opportunities for growth, which is huge.
This reminds me of that study they did with athletes. The ones who focused on gratitude, they didn't just recover from injuries faster physically, but mentally too,
Yeah.
which is so interesting. It's like gratitude was giving both their minds and bodies a boost.
It really speaks to the mind-body connection, right? And it makes you think, what if we all like tapped into that power a little more? But it's not about forcing it either. There's no right or wrong way to practice gratitude.
Yeah, it's got to feel authentic. So for those of us who are like ready to up our gratitude game, where do we even start? What are some practical things we can do to fit it into our busy lives?
That's the million-dollar question. And the good news is there are tons of different ways to cultivate gratitude. It's all about finding what works for you. Some people find that gratitude journaling is really helpful.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. But what if you're not really a journaling person? Are there other ways to tap into the power of gratitude?
For sure. Even small, everyday rituals can make a huge difference. Like, how about just taking a minute each morning to really appreciate something simple, like a good cup of coffee or a beautiful sunrise? Or maybe try making an effort to tell someone you care about how much you appreciate them. Send a heartfelt text, give them a call. Even a handwritten note can be really powerful.
Those are great ideas. So
Yeah.
I love that even small, tiny gestures can make a real difference. One thing that really like struck me reading through all this stuff was how gratitude can actually ripple outwards. It's not just about us and our inner circle, it's about the whole world around us.
Yeah, for sure. Gratitude isn't just an individual practice. It really is like interwoven with our social fabric. It's about belonging, and like you can actually see this reflected in cultures all over the world, which I think is super cool.
Oh, I love that. Tell me more about how different cultures view and express gratitude.
Okay, well, for example, a lot of Native American cultures have like really deep-rooted traditions of expressing gratitude to nature. They recognize, the interconnectedness of all living things. So they have all these beautiful ceremonies and rituals that are specifically designed to give thanks for the earth and the harvest and everything it provides.
That's so cool. It's a good reminder for us to appreciate the natural world, right? I feel like it's something we all take for granted way too often. What about other cultures? What are some of their gratitude traditions?
Well, in Japan, they have this concept called arigato, and it actually goes way deeper than just saying thank you. Like, it's about expressing sincere appreciation for the effort that someone has made and just like acknowledging how interconnected we all are. And that sense of gratitude, it's in everything, everyday interactions, formal ceremonies. It's really incredible.
It's so interesting how those kinds of traditions go beyond cultural boundaries.
Yeah.
It speaks to that, like, universal need for gratitude. Okay, so we've talked about gratitude for others, for the good times and the bad, even gratitude for nature. But earlier you mentioned something about gratitude impacting our purpose in life. I'd love to hear more about that.
Oh, absolutely. It's really easy to get so caught up in the daily grind that we like totally lose sight of what really matters. But when we actually take the time to appreciate all the good stuff, that's when we start to realize what we want to create more of, both for ourselves and for the world around us. Gratitude has a way of like illuminating our values.
So it's like gratitude is a compass, guiding us towards a more meaningful life.
Exactly. It's not always some big dramatic realization either. Sometimes it's just this like gentle nudge in the right direction. But by cultivating gratitude, we become more aware of our passions, what brings us joy. It helps us figure out what we're really meant to do.
It's like gratitude is helping us connect the dots between what we appreciate and what we're supposed to do with our lives. Wow, this deep dive has been amazing. I feel like I've learned so much about the power of gratitude. It's not just about like feeling good, it's about rewiring our brains, connecting more deeply with the people around us, and like finding our purpose.
It's quite a journey, isn't it? And the coolest part is that it's accessible to everyone. It's not like you need any special skills or equipment. It's just about shifting your perspective a little and, being open to appreciating all the good stuff.
That's a beautiful takeaway. And as we wrap up this deep dive into gratitude, I want to leave you with one final thought to, chew on. We've talked about being grateful for so many things, but what about gratitude for ourselves?
Now you're talking.
Right. When was the last time you actually stopped and appreciated your own strength, your resilience, all the unique gifts and talents you have to offer? I know I'm guilty of getting caught up in self-criticism and comparing myself to others way too often. What if we all tried treating ourselves with the same kindness and appreciation that we offer to other people?
That would be a revolutionary act of self-love, wouldn't it?
It would. And just imagine the ripple effect that could have. So as you're going out your day to day, take a few minutes to appreciate the amazing person you are, because you absolutely deserve it. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into gratitude. We hope you're leaving today feeling inspired and empowered to embrace all the good in your life. We'll see you next time.